Welcome to the Zoom, Hez.
How
Got
y'all
some
doing?
questions for you. We'll start off with Gabe Bach from TexAggs.com.
Hey, Hez, I wonder if you could just take us through what the feeling was like to finally be back out there in a game environment, and to start making plays again.
Man, it was fun. It's been a while, about like a year and a half. Haven't played since 2018, so it's been fun to get back out there with the guys. Been missing my teammates for sure. Um, they've been doing a tremendous job winning, and I'm just happy to be out there to contribute.
Could you walk us through your story a little bit and just what the last 18 months have been like? The first injury, and then I guess a re-injury that caused you to miss a little bit more time this fall.
Yeah, so first day of fall camp last season, ruptured my Achilles like early in practice. So I was sidelined for that. It had a lot of ups and downs, but gave me a great opportunity to learn a lot about myself. Outside of football. Not being able to step back on the field and play football. I learned, found out a lot about myself, different hobbies, and just found out how much I really love the game. Being away from the game was tough for me, for sure.
All right, next up is going to be Travis Brown from the Brown College Station Eagle, and then we'll go to Brent.
Yeah, you mentioned finding out a little bit more about yourself and some hobbies. What did you learn about yourself in that time?
Just I learned that I can sew. I started I got a sewing machine, started sewing, started making like pants and stuff. I found myself kind of like dipping into like fashion a little bit. In the different sorts of ways I can just things I can do outside of football. I started reading books, but also when I was outside of football, I still studied the game very much. Studied NFL film, college film, art film, different other people's film, and just still being a student of the game always.
What's the best piece of your favorite piece of clothing that you've made or sewn or put together?
Man, I've been making like pants. Like I make like stack pants. Just I do something with like some different prints. I just whatever my mood is at the time. I get a little creative. You know, always.
Yeah, was that something that was like how why sewing?
Um, I always just been. I always love fashion. Like just different shirts, different brands like Tokyo streetwear brands, uh, high quality designers. So I just always like studied that. And like outside of football, you know what I'm saying? It's just another hobby of mine, just fashion, and I just started making pants. It was quarantine. It wasn't much to do to stay in the house, and I just looked on YouTube, and I was like, man, I'm trying to be a fashion designer, man. Like I need a sewing machine. I can make some pants or something. Like I'm trying to get in the game. So I just started looking on YouTube and just start learning how to sew. Um, I just bought a sewing machine, and the rest is history. I have that always. When I go back home, sew a little bit for an hour or two, just get my mind off of football and just school and everything.
And then finally, how were you able to stay involved with the team during both of these times off and stay engaged with football and the team?
Always in practice. I'm always sitting behind the coaches, asking for the plays. Um, I'm always out there making an impact, encouraging these guys out in practice to, just finish through practice. Especially those hard days we have. Just finish through practice and just keep the energy high and positive around there always. I feel like that's my job is being able to contribute. Not on the field but off the field with just keeping these guys energy real high so we can be great in practice and finish practice.
Appreciate it.
All right, let's move to Brenton Zorderman from the Houston Chronicle.
As you hit us with a lot there with the pants deal, are you already selling them? And if so, how can people go about maybe buying them?
No, I'm more so focused on football right now. Finishing the season off. That's probably be after season. I'll probably do something of that sort. But right now, I'm focused on football right now.
What's the main material for the pants?
Uh, Denim, cotton, any any material. I haven't really just got into it. So after season, I'll probably be deep into it, just doing those things. But right now, I'm focused on football and winning games.
You mentioned reading a couple of books or a few books in that time. What's an example of one or two of those?
Uh, just been studying about it's like I got this one book I thought was interesting. It was just the ancient secret to the flower of life. Been talking about like a lot of spiritual things, just something that was interesting. It caught my eye, and very much so in that aspect. And just been reading and just been learning about just history beyond uh, American history or something, but just like really ancient history. Is very interesting. Like uh, all the aspects in that area is just very interesting and caught my eye. So that was one of the books I've been reading. Just been in Jimbo's playbook, and that's one of my favorite books right there. So those two
You know,
books are my favorite right now.
as a fellow veteran receiver, what was that conversation, as you're fighting to kind of get back into action and play, what was that conversation like with Jamon Osborne when he decided to go ahead and opt out this senior season?
Jamon, that's like one of my best friends, so I supported him 1,000%. It was his decision, and he made that decision. I was there to support him as a best friend, and as a teammate also. And I just know with him gone, I had a lot more load to carry on the leadership side, being one of the only veterans with Cameron Buckley being injured too, and Caleb Chapman also, and being like one of the only veterans in the group. I had to take on that big leadership role. So, I learned from him. I talk to him every day still. We're still the best of friends always. So um, that's really what happened with me and Jamon, and just me being able to be in that leadership role that he once was in.
Thank you for those good stories. Appreciate it.
All right, next up is Mike Lucas from KAGS, and then we'll go to Tyler Shaw.
Hey, Hez, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you? I like the
Good.
Houston
Well, we
jersey,
talked.
H-Town.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, someone gave it to me, but it looks good on TV, so I keep it.
Yeah.
But last week when we talked to Kellen, he kind of lit up talking about getting you back on the field. You come back against Arkansas, the connection and the chemistry between you two was pretty evident immediately, despite the fact you haven't played in a year and a half. So how'd you guys keep that chemistry up, even with you not necessarily being on the field to get the reps you probably need?
Yeah. Me and Kellen been knowing each other for a long time. I've been actually been catching footballs from Kellen since sophomore year in high school. So, we kind of started early with our chemistry and all, but just being in a film room with Kellen and just seeing where he goes, like asking him, "Hey, why'd you make that throw?" or "What was your read on that?" Just to get his mind, so we can kind of gel together. When I get back on the field, but really that just comes from knowing where we all have to be as a receiver, knowing where the quarterback wants to throw the ball, knowing what his reads are, so I can be ready for the ball when it comes to me, and just he's a very football geek. So just being around him, being his roommate, spend a lot of time talking football, talking life, talking about everything. So, just understanding him from every aspect has also helped our chemistry too.
Thanks, Hez. Appreciate it.
All right, let's go to Tyler Shaw from KBTX, and then Justin Woodard.
Hey, Hez, kind of building off of that chemistry aspect. As a receiving core, you guys have had to deal with a lot with opt-outs, injuries, and everything. So what would, from your perspective? I mean, you've only just played your first game this year, but where has the chemistry just overall? Because as the games have progressed, the passing game has been clicking. It seems like.
Yeah. So a lot of those things happen earlier, like in the fall camp. So during the fall camp, we gained a lot of chemistry from there. Just that fall camp, we were clicking on all cylinders. It seemed like from the jump, guys stepped up. Chase Lane, Cam Brown, Jalen Preston. Nice had to come back to receiver. He stepped up, but all that chemistry came from just a want to kind of, and a one in a win, trying to figure out how can we win in a lot of those situations. So we just got in the film room with Kellen and all quarterbacks and Jimbo, and Coach Craig also helped us tremendously too with teaching us in the summer and off season.
All right, let's go to Justin Woodard from KAGS and then Chip Howard.
That'd be a weird question for you to try to answer on yourself here, Hez, but what do you think you bring to that receiving room?
Just some experience. You know, I've played in games 2018. A lot of these guys haven't played in the college football game ever. So just experience and just keeping the energy high. Like, I'm a big energy guy. Like, you know, you just got to keep positive vibes and positive energy around me. So me being in the locker room, being in the film room, being on the field, you know, just keep that energy high and just have fun while we go out there and play. Just keep reminding those guys, like, that's the reason why we play, is to have fun. So I guess I'm the motivator guy in the room, but it's fun being with those younger guys, man. Just watching them grow from fall camp, summer, you know, being in the Zoom meetings, watching them learning the offense for the first time, you know, and just seeing where they're at now and just their progressions is really amazing just to see that. Those are great guys, all of them, great group of guys.
One quick follow-up. I asked Jimbo this too. Seems to us that Kellen is really trusting where you guys are supposed to be, especially with you in your first game, like somebody already asked in a long time, but with the other guys too. Where does that come from? Is that just repetition, or is that just something y'all have to know where you're supposed to be and be in your right spot?
It's a little bit of both. I think repetition has a big factor to play in that. You know, just repping those different coverages, where we're supposed to be in those different holes, and also just getting in our playbooks and watching film, you know, and just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Communicating on the field, off the field. Hey, what happened that play? He was here, so like just fixing the problem the first time, you know, and just really being enthusiastic with that really helped us.
All right, the next question is from Chip Howard from Sports Talk and then Gabe Bach.
As you alluded to this a little earlier, but the guys opting out, Caleb getting hurt, how much did that motivate you to try to get back as quickly as you could, knowing that how much you could help that group?
You know, I was just taking it a day at a time, really. It was really great to see those guys grow, you know, with me not being on the field, but I was also still in the film room and helping them out. And just me being on the other side of that, just helping them, watching those guys grow, you know, while I was out. And, you know, once I got back in, it was kind of just a want to contribute to the team. It really wasn't much else. I just, you know, that's my biggest thing, is just being available and contributing to the team always.
At what point did you know you were going to play Saturday? Had that been on the calendar circled for a while?
Nah, it was just one of those things where I was just taking it a week at a time. Practice some in the bye week, felt good. I was doing good throughout all the bye week, and then came through the Arkansas week and felt good. So I was the trainers gave me a go to play, a green light to play. So it was just really just happened. It happened really fast, but I was always ready for the moment.
Thanks.
All right, we're up against a break, so we only have time for one more question. Gabe Bach from TexAgs.com.
Yeah, Hez, I wanted to ask you specifically about some young guys. Every week, a new guy seems to step up in this receiving corps, so there's definitely time for some other new guys. It's a very deep unit, bunch of inexperience. But can you take us through, just from your perspective as the lone veteran out there really on scholarship, like a Demas, a Dalen Wright, some of these young guys we haven't seen much of? What could you say about their continued growth and development?
Oh, those guys, they're working hard at practice, you know, and they're showing the want to learn the offense and want to be on the field. And all those guys are progressing great. Demas is learning the playbook. Dalen's running great routes, learning the playbook. Moose is learning the playbook. All of them running great routes at practice. So all of them are being ready to play. They're all ready to play. You know, if they're ready to get in the game, when they get in the game, they're going to be ready to play.
Nice, Hez.
All right, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Hez. Well done.
Thank you.